Let's head to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
A lot of people say that Nick Chubb doesn't really run well in the gun, but, watching the 2019 Browns, even though that offense was not good, Nick Chubb was really, he had some ups, he had some downs. I think there's some things that Kevin and Stump Mitchell are going to have to work out, especially if they're trying to run in the gun, especially with Deshaun and Nick Chubb in the backfield. But I think the gun is going to help Nick Chubb a lot, because I noticed that when we had Odell, Jarvis, and other wide receivers, everybody was spread out, and defenses were almost like daring us to run, because around the time we could not run the ball. So I think now defenses are going to really be keen in to stopping the pass first versus the run, which I think is going to help us in the long run.
As always, appreciate all the voicemails. Tim, the biggest adjustments, the offensive line is going to have to block a little differently, but they'll figure it out. And Nick Chubb's, look, it's not like running out of the shotgun makes him not one of the best running backs in the NFL, but it is a little different.
Yeah, it's different because you don't get that running start. When you get the football, you're kind of going. You kind of have to accelerate pretty quickly once you get the ball out of the shotgun. So it is a little different in that regard. And when it comes to the O-line changing up, how they block, I feel like with the Browns, you can trust Bill Callahan because he's one of the better offensive line coaches in football to kind of figure out how to get that going. But I do think that there's a really good point there about putting Nick Chubb in the shotgun more and letting him run more, because if you're in the shotgun, that's you typically maybe got 11 personnel, maybe four receivers, and then Nick Chubb, and then all of a sudden, when you have those multiple receivers out there, especially with the upgrades the Browns made, bringing in Elijah Moore, Marquise Goodwin out there for some depth and speed, in that rotation. All of a sudden, especially with Deshaun Watson, defenses have to back off a little bit. They can't just stack the box like you saw at the beginning of last season when Jacoby Brissett was the quarterback, and they kind of had to lean on Nick Chubb in the run game far more than they'll necessarily have to with Deshaun Watson. So Nick Chubb should see fewer boxes of more than 7 guys. And the other thing is, if you're spreading these guys out, if you're spreading the defenses out, typically they're going to play smaller guys. You're going to see more corners. You're going to see more safeties out there. And we know Nick Chubb's a hard enough guy to tackle as it is, but you get him a chance against guys who are smaller than him that are going to try to tackle him. He's got a chance probably for some more big plays potentially.
Yeah, I would agree. Good luck with that. If you want to try to tackle him with a safety, I like Nick Chubb in that matchup most of the time.